everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all alright. I hope you've all had a really good few days. It almost feels weird uploading a video kind of so soon after the other. I'm not really used to this, but I am glad that we're up in the videos, so this is a good step. Please excuse the state of me. I look absolutely horrific. I seem to be going through a bit of a phase where doing my hair, doing my makeup and doing all the rest of it is just so much effort. I think because my hair is kind of in between colours at the minute, I've just kind of lost all willingness to do it, because if I do it, it just looks orange. If I don't do it, well, it looks a state. So I can't really win, to be honest. So today's video is just kind of a bit of an update. So before I go for my transfer, although when you're watching this, I will have had my transfer. So this is probably a bit strange if you follow me on Instagram, but obviously, like I said, on Instagram I am kind of doing everything delayed on YouTube so that I can give myself time to kind of process everything, and I'm not necessarily getting asked questions that I'm not 100% comfortable with answering until I'm at a point where I am okay to talk about it, especially as it comes to testing. I don't want it all to be quite, you know, there and then, and everybody needs to know as soon as I know, kind of thing. So the last I spoke to you, I just had my egg collection and we had got 10 eggs. Honestly, I was over the moon with that. I think I've kind of said right from the beginning that 10 eggs is like, oh man, I can't even explain how happy we were to get 10 eggs. Like, we really didn't expect more than 6. Last time we got 6 and only 2 fertilized, so we'd kind of said 6 again and a few more fertilized we'd be happy with. Kind of, I don't really know. We'd set the goal, if you like, quite low, because last time was such a, excuse my language, but a shit show, that we didn't really have the highest of expectations this time. So getting 10 eggs, really, if I'm honest, is something incredible for us. Like, it's not something we expected at all. We then got a phone call the day after letting us know, so that would have been Thursday, letting us know how many had fertilized. So we'd said that we would be happy with 5 and above. We didn't expect any more than 50%. We didn't want less than 50%, as we know that obviously then they start dropping off, and the last thing we wanted really was to end up in the same position as last time, where we had 2 and they were growing slow or they were going too fast, and then come transfer day we had none. We got the phone call on Thursday and it's really horrible. Obviously, anybody who's been through it will know that, you know, the day waiting for that phone call is so nerve-wracking and you're so anxious all day. And I mean, our clinic have a habit of ringing us at different times. So sometimes, like last time, sometimes we'd get the call at 10 o'clock in the morning and the next day we'd get the phone call at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you never know when it's going to come, which does make things a bit harder. But they did ring us early in the morning. So out of our 10, 8 of them were mature. So only 8 of them were suitable for Icsi. And out of that 8, 5 of them were fertilized. So we were happy. It's what we wanted. We did say, you know, 5 was our, okay, that's enough kind of number. We were happy with 5. Ideally, yes, of course, we wanted a couple more. But to say that 8 of them were good enough, you know, that's over 50%. So we were happy with that. That's good. Over the moon with that, really. Didn't expect it. So then it was just a waiting game, and we just wanted to know kind of how they were getting on the following day. So day 2, they don't contact you. So it's day 1 and day 3. Day 2, I was very anxious. We asked, obviously, why we don't get updates on the alternative days, and it's because all the changes that are happening to the cells are happening inside the cells and not something that they can see. So there isn't really anything for them to update us on. So we then got another phone call on day 3 with regards to how many embryos were developing from there. And the phone call that we got told us that actually only 2 of them were developing. So there were 6 cell grade 2 embryos. So they were grade 2, so they were okay, but they were slightly slower, hence why they only had 6 cells. So they were decent, like they weren't, grade 2 with our clinic is kind of this, obviously the second grading. They're good, but with a bit of fragmentation. And, you know, 6 cells, they expect them to be between 6 and 10 cells on day 3. So they were grade 2, but the lower end, if you like, of the grade 2. So it was just a case of hoping that they continued to grow and that they made it into blastocysts. So we'll obviously find out when we go for our transfer tomorrow how many we've got. We've had a phone call today telling us what time we need to go tomorrow. I'm booked in for 3 o'clock for my transfer. I feel a bit scared again now because I think it's very, especially after last time when we didn't actually make it to the transfer point, I think it's just hard not to convince yourself that that's going to happen all over again. So I think they rang us about an hour and a half, 2 hours before we were due to be there last time. And when we addressed this with the clinic, they did say, as I said in one of my previous videos when we had our treatment consultation, that we kind of don't have a choice with that because they only get it out of the pot or whatever it is that it's in that amount of time beforehand. So we're just hoping that at least one of them continues to develop. I'm not holding my breath on having any to freeze, but we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. But it's horrible. Like, it is so... And I don't even know what the word, anxiety triggering, I suppose, this entire thing, because you just don't know. And I think that's the worst part of it, that at least with the injections, you have some form of control. But then after the egg collection, all control is taken out of your hands and there's just not anything that you're able to do about it. So at the moment, it is a waiting game until tomorrow, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes to plan and I will come home with an embryo on board. But obviously I can't guarantee. And I think that's the hardest bit of it all. But yeah, whether or not we have anything to freeze is another matter. It would be nice. But to be honest, I've said before, if we get to transfer, we've got further than we've ever got before. And that's it. Am I disappointed with the numbers? A little bit. Would I like more than 2? Yes. Was I happy with 5? Yes. You know, 10 I was over the moon with, 10 eggs. But obviously not all of them fertilised. So, you know, we are on track with regards to numbers, how many they expect. So it's just a waiting game now. But with any luck, one of them will be a little child that I will have in my arms by December. But maybe not. I don't know. It's a nightmare. It is what it is. I'm just nervous. I don't think I've ever been this nervous in my entire life, and I don't really like it. I don't know. What I will ask is that anybody watching this does give me some tips, just anything really, to cope with the 2-week wait. Because if we do make it to transfer, this is a part of the journey that I haven't done. I've done the 2-week wait so many times when trying without IVF, but not when, you know, it's as crucial as this. So any tips for the 2-week wait would be really, really appreciated, because although at this very moment in time I'm not in it, by the time you're watching this video I will be. So yeah, I'm gonna need it. So if you could please, you know, give me any tips, drop any links below to anything that you think I could order that will help me, any recipe ideas, anything that you think, you know, are good for the fertility, etc, 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 then please hit me up, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a big thumbs up. Any tips for the 2-week wait, just let me know. But yeah, so the next video will be on Friday, and that will be kind of just how I've prepped for the transfer, followed by Tuesday's video, which will obviously be my transfer. So yeah, thanks ever so much for watching. I'm sorry this hasn't been the most riveting video, but obviously I just thought I'd give you an update as to where we are before we go in for the transfer. But yeah, I will see you on Friday. See you later.